That is chest hair. What the
Yeah, the podcast can't see this, but Wyatt has his video camera on, and he's in some fucking Fallout laboratory bullshit.
Welcome to the Ball Stretchers Anonymous podcast. I'm your host, Wyatt Knopfsinger, with my buddies Gage Daniels and Noah
And Mason.
and Mason.
You had to say Gage's full name, bro. Oh shit, I'm keeping that.
That is chest hair. What the
Yeah, the podcast can't see this, but Wyatt has his video camera on, and he's in some fucking Fallout laboratory bullshit. Okay. Gage, do you want to talk about what we're doing this episode?
We are gonna talk about our horror experiences. What the hell are you doing?
Okay, Gage, you can start it out with one of your ghost experiences.
I got some from home and some from work.
Just start out with the home ones.
So, we moved into a proper house. We used to live in a trailer. We moved into a proper house.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I didn't know this at the time, but I found out that the room I slept in had an old woman who lived in it. She died in that room. Well, when I was asleep on my bed, just chilling out, I wasn't asleep, I was just laying on it, I felt...
Your ass being fucked.
Dude.
Dude.
But I felt a person sit on under the bed.
Your face. Sorry.
God.
Okay,
And,
continue.
Keep it going.
That was really it. It's mostly just been subtle stuff like that.
Subtle stuff, okay.
Just slowly sits down on your bed.
Do you have any more?
With the one at work, if you work upstairs in the quality area, scanning or screening, if you're by yourself, usually on third or early on first, you will smell burning wire, and there's no burning wire.
Well, you do work at a factory. You'd think that'd be a common smell.
No, it's not, actually. But
Please go on. Explain.
I will hear someone say my name. There's no one around.
Okay, well then that you could have started off with that instead of the other fucking thing. The name thing is a little bit more convincing, Gage.
I mean,
Yeah.
Gage could just be psycho.
I don't know, dude.
I mean, obviously.
That's pretty... Okay, Gage, continue.
But I would sit there, I would hear my name, spin around, look around, nobody within like 300 feet of me.
I'm not gonna lie, that is kind of creepy. That is... If I heard that shit, I'd be fucking turned on.
Or-
Spooked out.
I would sit there, I would take a nap,
Mm-hmm.
like I would put my legs up on the desk.
At work?
Yeah, during breaks and lunches.
You take naps?
Yeah, on break and lunch.
You have enough time to take a nap during
Yeah.
break?
How long are your
Yeah.
breaks?
10 minutes.
What?
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 How long mine are?
I
do you-
taught
Same.
myself to pass the fuck out.
How do you wake up? I wouldn't wake up.
I just wake up.
How?
I set an alarm on my phone and it'll play to my earbuds and it's loud as fuck.
I guess.
So
You do you, Gage. Yeah, but then you go back to work tired as hell.
No.
Okay.
I never get the chance to enter REM, so.
Okay, Gage. Just continue with your damn ghost story.
But I would be
Gross.
sleeping,
Napping.
and napping, and I would feel something brush up against my leg, and there's nothing there, and there's no air movement through this area.
Do you just like wake up in a cold sweat in the middle of the break room and like scream and everyone's just looking at you?
No.
Oh, okay.
So this one wasn't me. It was the same general idea, but this one wasn't me. It was one of my coworkers. She was upstairs. It was Saturday night, working
You
third.
sure?
Yes.
Okay.
Shut the fuck up. But she would like change music on her phone and stuff like that because we can do that on second, third easily.
Yes.
But you know how like when something moves behind you, you'll see it like reflect on your screen behind you?
Yes.
Mhm.
Well, it did that, except it was between the phone screen and her. She saw it between her and the phone.
What?
Well, that's not good.
It's
Yeah,
kinda
no
weird.
shit.
She's
kinda
not
sus.
insane, is she?
No. I
you
remember... Yes. I remember I was using the restroom, because we have a restroom upstairs.
You have a restroom
And-
upstairs.
Yep.
Nice.
But, I was sitting there, I was taking a shit. And...
Well,
Yo, before you can
No.
tell the story, was it stinky?
No.
Okay, continue.
And the light switch to the lights in there
Mhm.
flicked off.
Okay, I'm not gonna lie. If I was taking a shit and like at work,
And
And it
and
was pitch
that
fucking black.
that
in
would
there,
honestly
too.
scare the hell out of me.
I'm glad I was sitting on the toilet because I pretty much shit myself.
Well, Gage, might I ask, don't you think it makes sense that it was probably like one of the light switches that like sense you and stuff? And,
No,
like,
it's a
because you were,
it's a
like-
flick switch.
Okay, then
We
that's
don't have
actually
those.
that's a little bit more scary. That could it have been someone fucking with you though, or would you have heard like a door open or something for someone to go
No,
in?
because so it's like a private bathroom. You go in there.
Oh,
you close and lock the
shit.
door. It's like at home.
Oh shit!
So something
Yeah.
was in there and flicked the light off and was in there. With
Did you hear the actual light switch like flick?
Yes, I heard it flick off.
Okay,
And see, here's
that's
the thing,
that's
though.
a little bit
Here's the thing.
scary.
I didn't hear it at first. It was pitch black, and then I heard it, and I fucking
know-
shit myself, dude.
They say you're in your most vulnerable state when you're
When you're
taking a
shitting.
shit.
Yeah.
Who the fuck says that?
Dude, no, see, here's the thing. Like, this
Who's
is why,
they?
Like, when I'm out in public, if there's like people up with me, like that I don't fully trust, I don't sleep. I cannot sleep because I have that mentality that when I sleep, I'm vulnerable,
Yeah.
and when I'm in public,
That's true.
I just don't sleep in public.
You
because
just
someone
said you
usually
sleep
gets
in the break
passed
room.
up a hand. No, I don't sleep in the break room. I sleep upstairs.
But isn't that in the public?
Yeah, but there's no one up there with me. I can hear people when they come towards me.
Okay.
Well, while you're sleeping.
Yeah, I don't know how, but yes.
Gage, you're a fucking you into your fucking spirit world state, like the Avatar dog.
Yes.
You don't
Yes.
actually sleep.
That's actually a good way. That's actually a good way of explaining it.
Gage enters the ghost realm, the poltergeist realm.
Yeah.
All right, you got any more ghost stories, Gage?
There was one time. This was at my old house. I was in the bathroom.
For sure.
Does every
I
ghost
wasn't
story
using-
happen when you're on the restroom
No,
on the
see,
toilet?
I know.
I wasn't using the restroom. I was brushing my teeth or some shit. I don't remember.
Hmm.
I was brushing my teeth, and I, even looking at my teeth, I was making sure they were all clean. And I
No way.
saw. Shut the fuck up! Holy shit! And I look up, and I see a shadow walk past behind me on the mirror.
No way.
Ooh.
Like not on the mirror, but like on the wall behind me. So it's like behind.
How like what was it like a person shadow or like
It was just like it was like a more of a mist shadow.
like just a blur?
And actually, this one was actually fairly recently in my new house. So we have this place.
This one in the bathroom too.
No,
Imagine
this
he
one's
said
not in
yes.
the bathroom. Okay, so I have to fucking screen share for this one because it's so much.
I
easier
can't
to
show the
explain.
podcast.
Oh yeah, you can't show the podcast.
Try to explain
okay,
it without
I'm gonna
it,
show
though.
you guys. No, I'm just gonna show you guys what I.
Okay, but you got to
Like,
explain
so
to
you
the
guys
podcast.
Yeah, so we have this wall right here, right? That does
Okay.
this. So my room is right here.
Okay, guys.
So my room's like on the left
So,
side.
so
You go
he's
in.
saying he has a hallway and his room is on the left side of the hallway, guys.
And there is a bathroom.
There's a bathroom
right here.
next to his bedroom.
And on the right side of this is my
Yeah,
parents'
so there's his room, a bathroom, and then his parents'
It's on-
room.
Yeah, so it's like an office desk.
Okay.
kind of thing. And left side's my room, the top is the bathroom, the right side is my parents' room.
Hmm.
We were sitting in the living room, which is outside of that hallway.
Yes.
My mom and I both saw a shadow, like a proper shadow figure, walk from her side of the hallway right into my
Did you
room.
guys scream?
No, we actually were not sure if we saw it. Now, see, that same night, because it was later at night, not later at night when we saw it, it was like 10 o'clock at night when we saw it. It was about midnight. We actually had the bathroom light flick on.
Gage, I'm not gonna lie. At that point, if you thought you saw someone and the lights flickered, dude.
Get the fuck
Yeah,
out of
what
there.
the fuck? Did you guys not freak out after the lights?
No, we
I
have
think
lived
the
with.
ghosts are actually following Gage.
I have lived with ghosts my entire life.
Honestly, same. Wyatt, do you want to tell
Same.
your... Shut the hell up. You want to tell your mom's
Another
ghost story,
podcast
Wyatt?
Gage talking half of it.
Because your mom's ghost story is
Well-
actually pretty interesting.
Is it that one where you got beat up by Ian?
Shut the hell up. Go on, get Wyatt.
Well, so yeah, it's kind of weird, but there's a lot to it. So this was way back, probably like had to be late mid '80s,
Mhm.
somewhere like there. That time my mom was still probably a teenager
Mhm.
of some age, and she was with her friends, and this was kind of the first big encounter, you could say.
Yeah.
And they were in her room, sitting on her bed, playing with an Ouija board.
Mhm.
God.
And of course, they were playing it. Nothing was odd. I don't exactly know too many details with like what they were asking and anything like that. But they were playing it, and suddenly it felt like on the bottom of the bed, almost like someone kicked it from underneath the bed, like full force, like someone had to have done it.
Yeah.
They were all freaking out. They were, of course they were freaking out. They looked under the bed. No one was down there. And this was just the first thing. Now, the second thing that happened is, well, in her house, it was her mom, dad, and brother, of course. Her parents were only there so often because they like to go out, go to bars with their friends, stuff
Yeah.
like that. So they were left alone a lot. I believe it was, they woke up one morning, and when they went out into the fridge, or the kitchen, I should say, they seen that all the containers they had in that kitchen, regardless of what they were, bowls, like plastic containers, whatever, they were all filled with milk. And I know it sounds weird, but I mean, the parents were blaming my mom, but she
Yeah.
didn't do it. They were blaming her brother, and he said he didn't do it. So my mom was almost certain it had to be a ghost or
Mhm.
something. It was weird. And of course, this was to a lesser extent, but she would also say that at night when she was in her room or whatever, she would say that like in the hallway, she said that she would hear horses almost.
That's actually scary as hell.
Like, yeah, like the hooves or something. Now see, I've been in this house, it's my grandparents' house, they still live there, and since I was a kid, whenever I've been there, I've always had this unnerving feeling. And in my mom's room, whenever I went in there, even to this day, I just feel like I'm being watched. It's honestly scary.
Yeah.
But I've
Isn't-
never had anything
That's
personal.
why you don't mess with Ouija boards, right? Because of that story. Yeah, because
Yeah.
I remember
Yeah.
me and Delvin were trying to do it with
And there's
you.
even more to it, too. There's more to it, actually. I just remembered.
Go for it.
In one of the rooms, on the door frame, I tried looking at this to see if there's any meaning to it, but I could not find it. If anybody knows any information on this, please comment below. But on the door frame, it was almost like it wasn't scratched. It was like painted in. Almost, it was a heart, but it was sideways.
That's weird as shit.
and
You saw that or your mom saw that?
same issue. My mom's
Okay.
seen that. And same issue. They thought it was them. She didn't do it. Her brother didn't do it. They painted over it, of course. It came back out of the paint. It was there again. And of course, I mean, it wasn't some kind of mold
Yeah,
or
that's
anything.
weird. There's no
It
way.
was clearly written, and they said they painted over it, and I think it's finally gone, but they showed me actually where it was on the wall because they swear that sometimes they could see like almost remnants of it there, but I didn't see it.
Yeah. That's actually weird as hell.
Isn't it was the brother the whole time?
Now, thing that really kind of got to me though is it just that connects all of this together is my grandparents' house. It's actually on top of an old Indian burial ground. And I kid you not. And I think once they all figured that out, it
Like,
really
made everything make sense.
it made everything make sense. And to this day, whenever I go out there, whether outside in the house doesn't matter, just an unnerving feeling
Yeah.
out there.
Do they live
I
in,
mean,
like, the
there's
middle of
neighborhood
nowhere, or do they
houses.
live in, like, a town or something?
It's an off-road,
So there's...
and they
So it's
got
more like country style,
got
like
a.
there's houses like maybe a few blocks away, but like...
Well, I'll explain. So they have some
Mhm.
neighbors,
How close? Okay.
but right behind
Right behind.
or like right next to them, but right behind the house, there's some trees, and it runs down into a
Mhm.
creek, and behind there's kind of a marsh area, and there's a little hill that kind of overlooks the
Yeah.
house. It just kind of something about it is just really
Yeah, I was gonna say,
eerie, but you can just
the way you're
never
describing it sounds creepy.
you can never place your finger on it.
Do you have any...
Speaking of Indian burial grounds, let's talk about Chief.
Dude, I feel like Chief actually would be built on one. Dude, I can tell you some of my Chief ghost stories. And then you can say yours.
All right, so these ghost stories, they're at Chief's Supermarket or
Place me
Supermarket,
and
right?
Mason used to work at, yeah.
So this is interesting because usually when you hear these ghost stories, they're
Like a
at houses or like
or like
old
a cemetery or some
places.
bullshit.
They're not
Like a
typically at
public grocery
places
store or
that
anything,
people.
yeah.
Yeah, so this is kind of interesting. It's different.
Do you want to
So,
start yours, Mason, or do you want me to
yeah,
go
please
first?
explain.
You can go first.
Okay, so basically around, let's say 8 months ago when I started in like an office service job there. So I would open on Sundays and I'd be the only one there at like 6 a.m. for like an hour or two just doing stuff. And at like 7 a.m. before the sun's out or anything, I would always hear like running up and down the aisleways. So I'd go out and check,
Whoa.
and there's like nobody there. So I mean it's creepy, but it's not like crazy where you'd be, because it's in like a public place, so you're not really like scared by it. And then randomly like there'd be like loaves of bread and like chips and like random stuff that are like far back on the shelf, but like they'll just fall off the shelves somehow. I mean that could be explained a lot better than like the running and stuff, but I don't know. I think it's all still creepy, especially the way like the loaves and the chips are like how far they are back. But yeah. Oh, also, and when you're in our back room, like our receiving room, because I also closed sometimes. You'd turn off all the lights, and our like docking area, it would be just pitch black back there, and like every once in a while you hear like a thud, and personally to me, out of like the corner of my eye, I'd like see someone like run across the corner, and that shit was terrifying as hell.
Whoa.
No cap, but yeah, that's basically all I got for Chief stories.
That's just really weird to think about because I mean,
It's a public
Well-
space.
well, both of you guys both worked at the same place,
Yeah.
right? So you're both of your stories.
And-
See, that's where that becomes convincing to me because this isn't just like a one
No,
guy.
it's not
one
even
spot.
it's
This
not
is
even
two
just me
guys.
and Mason though. Like, I'd say like half or more of the
It's
people that
several
work
people.
there have seen something.
Like Azim, dude. He used to work at the office. Wasn't he night office?
I have no clue.
Well,
know
he
what
used
he
to. Sue told me that he worked in the office,
Mm.
and he'd been in there, and the door like to the office would just slam shut.
Wow. Yeah, there's a lot of people that have heard stuff about that place.
See, that's just
And then-
so interesting to me, just considering the location and. I mean, it's not like the place is old. I don't think with the location of it there would have been any old buildings there. So
it's-
it really just makes you wonder how something like that would happen.
Yeah, definitely.
And then there was another time I had already left, like I clocked out. It was 2 people. There was like no one in the store. They were both at like the front, getting ready to close because like 10:30. They heard a little girl like laughing and running down the hallways on the other side of the store towards the deli.
But no one was there.
That's actually
no one was
terrifying as
there.
hell.
Yeah, it scared the shit out of them.
Oh, one time, with Brooklyn, we were taking out trash one time. And because it was like 9 or 10 p.m. So we go out back. I mean, this one could definitely be explained a lot, like, more reasonably. It could have been a person or something. But, so we were taking out trash out back by the dumpsters, and I saw, like, a person standing by, like, this post. And that shit was terrifying as hell, because I went inside. I came back out, the person was gone. I told Brooklyn about it. I told, like, everyone in there about it. So, do you remember
I've
that?
just been a homeless
The
guy.
person by, like, the post or whatever? At Chief?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so, I don't know. Yeah, that one could have been explained. It could have been a person, someone cracked out or something, but it's still creepy.
Yeah, they're always back there digging in dumpsters.
It's more the fact that they were just gone after that, and the way they were, like, standing there, it was just creepy as hell.
Staring at you in the dark.
Yeah.
That little girl one creeps the shit out of me.
Anybody else got any stories? I can tell some stories about, like, my house and stuff my mom's seen.
Yeah,
too,
my old house, I used to sleep in my room. It was like a stormy night. This caused me to not sleep in my room for, like, ever. I used to sleep on the couch. I'd be
Alright,
chilling
what's
in my
your-
room when I was young. And it was a stormy night. There was just an old man sitting in the corner.
What
Whoa,
the fuck?
really?
Yeah, he would talk to me.
What would he say?
I don't remember. It was a long time ago. I used to live in... It was like 2 old houses ago.
Oh, wow. Dude, I'm not gonna lie. If I saw some old fucker just staring at me and talking to me, I'd be freaked out.
Dude, I was like 4, just chilling in my room.
I mean,
on
I
my,
guess
like,
if I
Lightning
was...
Queen bed.
Yeah, I was gonna say, if I was younger, I feel like it wouldn't be as scary. I don't know. But...
Yeah, it reminded me of Jeff Dunham, that doll. What's the old doll he has?
Walter?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck,
Whoa.
dude.
So this was like a pretty old, kind of grumpy looking man, evidently.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
that's creepy.
I was young. I could have just been like my imagination, but...
Brooklyn, you got any ghost stories you want to tell the podcast really quick? Okay. Guess not. Alright. I can tell mine then. So, I'd say this one starts, what was it, about like 3 months ago, you'd say? The running?
Sure.
Yeah, I think it was like 3 months ago. So I was in a call with Brooklyn. And then all of a sudden, like, I'm just playing games and shit, and then all of a sudden, because once again, everyone in my house is asleep, so it's just me awake. And then all of a sudden, I hear like it sounds like some big fucking football player, just from like my kitchen down to my hallway, just dead sprints and stops at my fucking door like they're about to bust my door down. So I'm sitting here like staring at my door, just waiting for some motherfucker to bust this shit down, like terrified. I'm quiet as hell while Brooklyn's in the call. So I grab a knife, and because I have like a shit ton of knives on my desk. I go out there to check. I get my brother. I wake my brother up to go check with me, because that shit was too fucking terrifying to go alone. I'm not that fucking white. But
So what time of day was this? Or was it like
I'd
night?
say about 1 or 2 a.m.
Was your parents home?
Yeah, they were asleep.
I see.
Apparently, I was the only one that
See, that-
heard this.
See, that alone is terrifying. Just knowing, I mean, because like rationally, you would think it would be them, but I mean, I
No,
know
I
your
knew they
family.
were
I mean, no one would be running either. Like, you know.
Just
No.
imagine a freaking burly requeese running down your hallway.
Yeah, I was gonna say nobody in my house, especially
You
at
know everybody's foot.
yeah, because you can ask Brooklyn when she's at my house. Every time someone walks out, I know who it is. I could for some reason I don't know if that's weird or not, but I know like what my family's footsteps
Like,
sound
do
like
you
in my
have
house.
like carpet or...
I have a hardwood floor.
Okay, then you can like, if they're barefoot, you can
Yeah, I know what they sound, but It sounded like no one I've ever fucking heard, and everyone in my house was asleep. Like I said, I had to wake my brother up to go check with me. I checked every fucking inch of my house. Nobody fucking here. It was
Did it,
fucking.
like, shake your house, or?
It was me the entire time.
You were, dude. But it didn't shake my house per se. But like if you heard it, it'd sound like some big motherfucker barreling down my hallway and just stopping at my door like they're gonna kick it down.
You know what? Now that you mention, that's not even the first time we've had an experience at your house.
Yeah, what was the one we had? Because I remember me and you have had. Dude, I think me, you, and Delvin have had one before.
I remember
too.
it seemed like we were younger, of course.
Yeah.
And we were just chilling. It was at night. We were just outside your house, just doing whatever.
Oh, I remember. I know what you're talking about.
We started hearing something like someone was crawling on your roof. Almost.
I remember that. That's exactly what I was gonna say. We literally because it was this house. It was probably about 3 or 4 years ago, I'd say. Because it was a July 4th party.
Yeah.
Because we were standing in my driveway. I remember you were joking about it being like a fucking like the rake. You were joking that it was like the rake or something. I don't know if anyone knows what that is. But we were sitting there with flashlights, like pointed at our roof, waiting for some fucking bullshit to jump down and fucking rip us to shreds. That shit was terrifying.
But the thing is like, rationally it could have just been like a bird or a squirrel or something. But
It was. It sounded
there's
too loud for that.
There's no squirrels in that area, so of course it wasn't a squirrel. And if it was a bird, I mean, we wouldn't have heard that.
And it wouldn't have been that
It's not
loud.
like something was crawling.
Bro, I think Gage told his story and just dipped.
He's just
could've.
listening, I think.
That wasn't actually the end. Because I remember we kept hearing stuff. It was like on this side of the house and it was that side of the house. And I mean, we looked around, but that was it. After that, there wasn't anything else. It was just kind of weird. It could have been anything, but
I don't know. It was really loud. But, yeah, so, like I was saying, Brooklyn said it. Nobody in my house, because I live with my brother, my mom, and my dad. No, especially at 1 or 2 a.m., nobody in my fucking house is going to be especially at 1 or 2 a.m. Nobody's going to be running down my hallway to fuck with me like that. I don't know. I think that's definitely pretty weird. And then I have a story for my brother for my old house, but I have some for my mom and this house, so I'll tell hers first. So my mom, we went to school. My mom was home alone. My dad was at work. So my mom was in the kitchen, and I think the hallway lights off or something. I don't know. It might have been on. I'm not 100% sure on like perfect details. I'll have to get her on sometime to say it. But she saw, like, not out of the corner of her eye, like visually saw some like little blonde boy run from like her bedroom into like my room or the bathroom, because they're on my bathroom and my bedroom are on the same side of the hallway. So it was one of the two. I don't know. She was pretty fucking scared of that. She went and looked at it. I don't know why. She went and checked it out. There was nothing. So another time, my mom had pulled out our dining table chairs to, like, because she was cleaning the around the table and everything and vacuuming our carpet there, or our rug. And she was walking out of the hallway and saw, like, a black figure sitting in one of these chairs. She freaked the fuck out.
Whoa.
And she blinked and it was just gone. So, and she looked everywhere throughout the house again. And then another time, she had, like, cereal bowls or something that she was going to clean, or from us in the morning, going to school. And she had them set on the counter, but, like, against the wall with our counter. So, like, they weren't near the edge at all. And she went back into our laundry room and came back, and the bowls were, like, on the ground spilled. So, like, there was no way they would have been pushed or anything. They were not close to the edge. So, I don't know. That's pretty creepy, too.
Huh.
Yeah, some haunted ass.
Yeah, like, my house, even besides, like, the running shit, you'll hear, like, footprints. Oh, and then in my restroom one time, because we were going in the morning to, like, go to a movies or something with my parents. This was about, like, 2 months ago, I'd say. I saw on my mirror in the bathroom, like when I got out of the shower, so it looked like someone had taken their finger and drawn like a cross on my fucking mirror. So that, and like it was fogged up from me showering, so it was like like someone had to have drawn that. I covered it, like I wiped it away because I thought that was creepy as hell. And I asked my family, nobody saw shit, nobody did that shit, and I know when that's a lot of people say this, but I know when people are lying, and I don't think any of them were lying personally. But like me and my mom, we walked into the kitchen, and she said that was creepy as hell. The second she said that, we have like a picture or something in my laundry room or restroom, and it fell down on the ground. So like I just right after that, I don't know. I think that's pretty creepy too, and like weird timed.
I would have got the fuck out of there.
Yeah, I don't know. A lot of weird shit in this house. And then in my old house, I got a lot of stories. In my old house, my brother, because we were really little and like we slept with our parents like in the same bed like for I don't know, like 4 or 5, 6. I don't fucking know, but my brother, everyone else was asleep, and my brother was awake, and he swears on everything that there was like a little like ghost kid or some shit in our hallway because we left our door open. There was like a ghost fucking kid standing in the hallway with like swim trunks on and everything, just saying to my brother over and over again repeatedly, let's go outside and swim. And that shit just is fucking terrifying. My brother, he was so little though, so like he didn't think it was like fucking scary. He just thought it was some kid wanting to swim with him. But like,
was it with a little kid in your guys' house?
Yeah, but this was my old house too. But it could be like a ghost like following us or some shit. But he said eventually he just fell asleep. I don't know how, but he said eventually he did. So my mom to this day thinks like there was like a ghost or some shit trying to get my brother to go outside and swim and like drown or something. So I don't know.
That would make sense.
Yeah, just a lot of creepy ass stories. Gage, are you back?
I never left.
You just been listening to this? Well, you got anything to say about these? About any of the stories so far?
I mean, fucking ghosts, man.
Have you guys ever heard of Coffin Road?
Oh, wait, Wyatt, was that? Didn't me and you go on that?
I've been to Coffin Road.
I've been down it too.
I don't know if you have, but I have.
I drove down it with Marquise and Ian. It wasn't Marquise, Ian, and Logan. It wasn't like scary, but we did see a lot of black cats.
Well, I'll see that's information, but I'll just kind of give a rundown. And like, I didn't have any crazy experiences, so I'm not talking about that. I'm just gonna talk about what it is.
Yeah, explain it.
So, well, in our area, I mean, we live out in the middle of nowhere. There's not a whole lot of
absolutely
things
nothing
out here. But kind of one of those big haunted attractions is known as Coffin Road. Right now, all it is just an old stone road. You got like pretty much nothing out there. You got a woods further up, and just like a bunch of empty field, nothing in it at all.
And besides the ghost stories, this road, like genuinely, if you're driving on it at night and even during the day, the road is just genuinely like scary looking.
Now, the one part of it that is kind of the scary attraction, you could say, is there's a old cemetery gate.
Yeah, we saw that.
Honestly, it's not really like a cemetery though. It's more of, I don't really know. It's like a private graveyard more than anything. There's like 3 graves.
Yeah, there was also an orphanage on that road.
Yeah, it was said that the old man who hated children set an orphanage on fire, and then he went back down the road and hanged himself from a tree.
Which that itself is, I don't know if I believe the truth of that.
We saw the remnants of it. The base is still there.
There was an orphanage.
And the cemetery is still there, and the tree the guy hung himself on is still there. Like, you can see all of that. So I personally think the stories are true. I just don't know if, like, the way the story about the dude is, like, 100% true.
Yeah.
But I believe there was a guy that did hang himself there.
Yeah. There is actually one more thing to it, though, that I've heard is, out there on the road, there used to be back in the KKK meetings there as well.
Yeah, it's got a weird
So
past.
I think just that alone, just all this stuff kind of together in like one road. Of course, there's gonna be some weird stories to it,
Yeah, definitely.
which is understandable. I mean,
Yeah,
it's not too eerie going down that road, but like it almost is at the same time.
yeah. People have reported like hearing laughter from the children
Oh,
or seeing handprints
yeah,
and footprints on
I was gonna
vehicles.
say one of the most like the biggest sighting I think people hear, and some of my friends have told me, is like they'll go there and their windows will fog up and they'll see like a child's handprint appear on their window. I think Jeremiah had a story like that, and I think he was with like some other people, and there was a handprint that appeared on their window, and like one of them started like crying, like freaking out, because I think that like I don't know, he like saw something or something, but like they got the fuck out of there. I don't. And when I went down that road, I didn't really like experience anything like weird per se, but like I said, we saw like a lot of black cats and shit, which I don't know.
I'm sure there's a hayride that goes through that.
The black cats could
Right.
legitimately, because there's a lot of cats in this area, but it could legitimately just be explained as there's just random cats. But it is weird that there were just like all black cats.
Are black.
But so what was it?
Rover Hill has a haunted road. County Road 24.
But on that road, we like on the main bridge part, because there's like a bridge part of it that's like apparently like the most haunted part, like where the handprints appear and shit. We like got off, stopped the car there, and like all the lights were out, and Ian, having the biggest fucking nuts ever somehow, went off the road, like got out of my car, went off the road like into the woods and just pissed, and then came back like nothing fucking happened. Yeah, I don't know how the fuck he did that. That shit was terrifying. But
I realize I just said a town near where we live, but whatever.
doesn't matter.
Well, it's not that close to us, honestly. It's kind of a drive.
Yeah.
But
So
yeah, I mean, so Coffin Road, it's like the history behind it, all the weird things. It's kind of more of an urban legend than anything.
Yeah.
I like it's
there
kind of
is some truth
you
to
go
it, like
there,
100%. Like the orphanage actually burning down and the cemetery.
but,
That
you know,
is true.
It really is just kind of your standard urban legend. Some people that say they've seen things, but you go there, you don't really have any kind of experiences.
Yeah.
But who knows? I mean, there could actually be something going on there.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, and then I think, yeah, you've went to it before. We all have walked into an abandoned house. I think we were all upstairs, me, you, and Delvin, I think. Me, you, Delvin, and Ian, maybe. We went upstairs. It was quiet as hell. All of a sudden, we hear, like, footsteps downstairs. Do you remember that?
I remember being there, but I don't remember hearing footsteps.
Well-
Then again, when I was there, I kind of went up the stairs, downstairs in the darkest part of the place, and never
No,
really.
but
I never got
I know you were
footsteps.
there when we heard the footsteps, and we all like stopped
might.
for like a minute. But we all just assumed it was like an animal, which it very well could have been, because it's like an abandoned fucking house and it's probably filled with animals and shit. But it sounded like footsteps, and it sounded like loud footsteps. So I don't know. It could have been someone fucking with us.
Has
too.
heard of Nancy Eagleson?
Yes, I have. I actually think
And the girl that got
I
murdered.
actually think I know who killed her, but that'll be for a different podcast episode.
How the hell do you know?
Because it was my great grandpa, but that's a different podcast episode.
Tune in next
Yeah.
time if you want to hear that.
And that's 100%. I know that 100%. But yeah, shit, you guys got any more ghost stories?
Well, yes and no.
What are yours? What are some more you got?
Well, this is more to do with my mom, and this stuff has actually became kind of like for a while became almost like traumatic to her. Like she was getting really messed up about it.
Yeah.
So I'll kind of go over this, but then at the end we'll kind of go over that big thing. But
Yeah.
so, back when she had my brother, she says that she was sitting in her room on the bed, like putting him to sleep or something. And she said she looked over, and almost like the corner of her eye, and it's not even like a glance thing, like she was looking directly at it. She said she's seen an old man kind of humped over,
Oh damn.
who went from the foot of the bed and walked over into the closet and just kind of disappeared.
See, shit like that would actually like fuck me up. That would be terrifying.
She said, just she thinks she actually knows who it was. She says just by how he looked, how he moved, she's almost certain, I believe, it was her great grandfather, I
Mhm.
think. Just kind of an interesting story, but I've never had any experience at his house, so could have been anything, but I almost think this might connect towards the end, but now this is another thing, not exactly ghost, but it's kind of freaky. Well, growing up, we had this family friend. He was like an uncle to me. I won't say his name or anything, but just really nice guy. Really good friends with him. Just really big family friend. Well, one night my mom was sleeping, of course, and she had a dream that she was in a hospital, and she was with me and my brother. And she said that this friend, he walked up to her and just said, "It's okay." And then he just kind of walked away, and she said she woke up and she was crying. And she called her mother, my grandma, and she said that, "Hey, this guy, he just died last night of a heart attack." And that just connected instantly from my mom, and it's really it's crazy. I mean, it's scary.
Yeah, that's fucking terrifying.
I don't really have a ghost story, but it's scary as hell. At my old, like, do you know where I used to live, Noah?
Yeah, I do. Brooklyn has told me.
You know how it's just like a little tiny village of a few houses? There was actually a guy that murdered his wife
God
here.
damn.
And I had been, like, outside playing with her son, and we were walking home, like, towards his house. She'd walked out and said hi to me, and then, like, I said, "What's up?" and then left. And a few days later, she was killed and found in the trunk of the car.
That's actually fucking
Wow.
crazy. Wow.
Yeah, I feel so bad for her son. He was actually chill.
That's actually nuts.
And, like, the whole news station was surrounding our fucking town.
Well, I think me and Delvin before have done a Ouija board in a cemetery.
God.
The thing is, though, is nothing happened, and there was like nothing creepy at all going on there. It was actually pretty like just nice being there, like really. But I told that to someone I worked with, and they told me something that like made it make sense, cause like they told me the reason why I wouldn't get anyone responding there through a Ouija board is because why would a ghost just sit at the cemetery all day? They would probably be where they last died at, or where they actually died at, or like with their family. So why would the ghost be at the cemetery? Which actually kind of made sense to me. I don't know if that makes sense to you guys or not, but definitely made it.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense.
But yeah, you guys think that's it for this episode? Or you guys got anything else to say?
You know St. Paul Cemetery?
Yeah.
Well, there's like a headstone there, like that people have driving past, it would move and look at them.
Oh wow. You guys got anything else?
Not really.
Wyatt?
There is actually one final part to my mom's whole story.
Alright, so we'll finish the podcast off with that. So, go ahead.
So, this isn't a ghost story, but this is the one that was traumatic to her, and that kind of also clicked in her mind about just something about her.
Mm-hmm.
It was another dream she had. In this dream, it was almost like a aerial perspective, and it was at night in our hometown,
Mm-hmm.
dark. You got the street lights, and there was a car. In this car, there was a woman, and she was being attacked, and I believe like murdered actually.
Yeah.
There were two assailants. She couldn't make out the faces of any of them, but she says that it was so highly detailed. And it could have just been a dream, of course, because she watched a lot of like murder mystery shows and stuff. So, I believe that next day or so, she found out that there was actually a murder in Paulding that was eerily similar to the one that happened.
Oh, wow.
And she was freaking out because she was afraid. Like,
I would be.
What if she actually has some details that could solve this murder? Like she felt guilty about it.
Yeah.
Like, what if she actually knew some? So, one of our neighbors is actually, or was, he was a sheriff, and she actually talked to him about it, and it didn't go anywhere. But I think it's when she just needed to get that off her chest.
Mm-hmm.
I do think the murder might still actually be unsolved, but I could be wrong on that.
Wow.
And from that time forward, just with all the experiences she had, just her herself, none of us involved, she's almost certain that she's some kind of psychic in a way when it comes to that, because there are many people, there's a lot of people that have experiences like that, where it's like dreams
Like
and
dreams
stuff like
are
that.
reality, basically, like they come true.
In a way.
It's weird.
So she almost kind of has a belief, and I believe then on, I don't think anything has really happened.
Mm-hmm. Or at least
But
maybe
it's
stuff
still
happens, but she just
kinda-
doesn't say it.
It could happen. I don't know. But
That's fucking.
so
nuts.
yeah, that's kind of my whole stories.
See,
Everything
like the whole dreaming and like shit coming true thing it's an extremely confusing concept even for those who do it, because I've had that happen before.
I've had that happen before personally.
I've had it happen,
But like in small
a lot
cases, not like that.
See, I've had one that for 3 years has repeated over and over and over, but different.
What is it?
So so I don't dream very often, very very rarely. Now when I do dream, it always has one thing, like the location will be different, yada yada yada. But there's always one constant to it, and there's like this woman. It's the kind of thing like you can tell it's a woman. You can see like some general description, but I can never see her face.
Mm-hmm.
It's like longer red hair. She never says anything, and it's been at like different places. I think the only one that I can really remember was that it was at a college or like some sort of campus or something like that, or some sort of, it was a well taken care of property.
Yeah.
Or whatever. But I would like when I would dream, I don't even remember the last time it happened. I think the last time it happened was back in February or March.
Mm-hmm.
I would see her. She wouldn't say anything. She'd just look at me or through me or something. And it would always happen about the time my alarm goes off and it wakes me up before anything different happens. And it's been for 3 years.
Yeah, that's definitely pretty creepy.
I mean, it doesn't creep me out. It's just,
I don't know. I think that's.
I want to know
creepy.
what, like, I want to know what the meaning behind it is.
Yeah.
Because if it's happening for 3 years on end.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I feel like the meaning is simply that you're horny.
Dude, fuck
All right,
you.
guys. Well, that's a good part to end the podcast at.
Wow.
Make sure you guys follow and subscribe on all platforms: Spotify, Apple Music, what the Amazon Music, everything. Just we're on everywhere. So yeah, check out everyone's channels and shit, and see ya.
Yep. So it's Ball
Fucking
Splitters
asshole.
Anonymous.